Good morning, ladies and gentlemen of Precalculus. Yesterday in class we were starting working these evaluations of trigonometric functions of these angles, and we're concentrating in this section on angles whose measure is greater than 90 degrees, or an obtuse angle. And Robert finished this. We talked about the principle of what a reference angle, how that's obtained. And that's obtained by either raising or lowering a line segment perpendicular to the x-axis, and then working with that, and then finding the sides, opposite, adjacent, and hypotenuse. And with those sides you can get your 6 trigonometric ratios. So let's go ahead to number 5. And what I want to do is, can you work out, are you working out number 5 right now? Have you worked it out already, Elizabeth? Okay, Elizabeth's already done this one. Pardon me? Oh, you're on 11? Okay. Well, I want to choose somebody to work out number 5 for us here. Yeah, that's right. Well, that's the best you can do. So Elizabeth, do you think generally there are 2 types of mathematicians or students? They're the doers and the thinkers. And the doer is the one that just, okay, I'm just going to launch myself into it and just work these out. And the thinkers will just sit back there and spectate and sort of think through it, and they'll eventually do it, but they're going to think it out heavily first. Which type are you, do you think? You don't know?
She said she just does it.
She just does it. Okay, she's a doer. There's someone else who sits in your very same seat, 6th period, Kayla. She's similar. She goes and launches through doing it, which is a good way to learn. But who's a thinker who will just sit and look at it and just think for a while? You are, Justin, right? You're a thinker. You're not a thinker? You seem like you're a thinker to me. Who's more of a thinker? So you just go ahead and start doing it? Is that it? All right, all right.
I just need to see it one time, and then I can do all the rest of them.
Okay, so you need to think for a little while to be able to do it.
Yeah.
I need to see a pattern.
I just have to see one of the first ones,
Okay, well then what I'm going to do is I'll call on somebody to help us out with number 5. Okay, Justin. Justin, you're the man. All right. All right, Justin, how do you handle this one?
So I looked at the wall, and this looks like a standard thing. So I got that going for me.
Okay, so what did you do?
Nothing much.
Nothing much. Okay, here's your angle, right? There's that, right? Here's your reference angle, right here. Your reference angle is going to be right here. And when we had played that Kahoot game yesterday, the very last thing was what was a reference angle for an angle in standard position whose measure is 220 degrees. Well, that's going to be somewhere over here. This is about 225 degrees, but that measure is going to be 40 degrees. Okay, what next? Are you going to work on this, Justin, or do I need to get somebody else to work on
Yeah,
this?
you can get
Thanks. Okay. Yeah, that's fine. I want everybody to work ahead if they can. If you work, okay, I'm looking for somebody who will work, even if somebody will get it wrong. I'm still okay with somebody get it wrong, right? If you work through it and make a good effort. All right, Karina. So you drew did you draw it over here on the side? Is that how you did this? Okay, Karina said she did this. So she drew it like this, and then this one here comes something like this. And here's your P, and that's -1, comma -1, is that right? And then here's your reference angle. That reference angle is going to be right here, is that right? Okay, go ahead. Hypotenuse is here, so hypotenuse, you'll have a hypotenuse, you'll have an opposite. Here, you'll have adjacent, right? So what are your
And for both, the opposite and adjacent, it's -1.
so you got -1 here and also here, okay?
And then the hypotenuse is square root of 1.
Okay, now when I did this, I got square root of 2,
Yeah.
is what I got. Okay, what's really, and if you think of it, you know what the measure of this angle alpha is, right? What is the measure of that angle alpha?
45 degrees.
45, very good, Justin, excellent. All right, go ahead.
And then for sine, will be -1 over square root of 2.
-1 over square root of 2.
And then the CSC, will be the square root of 2 over -1.
Okay, square root of 2, okay. Cosine,
And it would be also -1 over square root of 2.
and then secant
Would be square root of 2 over
was negative square root of 2. And then your tangent is going to be
just 1.
equals 1. And cotangent theta equals 1, both 1, okay? One thing you see, if you look at your unit circle, you will see that this is one of your standard angles, and that this one is going to be written as negative square root of 2 over 2, and also sine is to be written as negative square root of 2 over 2, okay? All right? Does that seem that bad? Question on this one? All right, I want to thank you, Karina. That's some good work right there. No questions on this? Okay, let's go ahead. And 6. Okay, let us get a new contestant. Becky, it looks like it's slowing down at your space. Did you draw it like this here or off to the side?
I drew off to the side.
Let me do that, but we're gonna
And
just,
I drew it the lines of, I didn't know if it was up or to the side, but
so you did it like, kind of like this. And then the thing went like this kind of. And then this one here is gonna be 3, comma, -5, is that right? Okay. And then,
I did -5 squared plus 3 squared plus 3 squared, and then it's gonna be the square root of 30.
so right here, so hypotenuse is equal to square root of 34.
Yeah.
Anybody have a question about how she got that? Does that look right? Okay, okay, good. What next?
So, sine, no, I did it a different way, like I put the line on the bottom, not the going up to the side, top.
So you changed the orientation is what you're saying?
Yeah. I'm thinking it's getting the same, but I don't know.
Yeah, what I'm gonna do is, because I can't conceive of how you did that, I'm just gonna draw it like this. And tell me if it's wrong, if it's not what you had. Is that right? Then which is your reference angle here?
Oh, she drew it the other way,
Yeah,
like to the.
front to the.
Oh, you drew it here?
Dot to the y-axis.
Because I didn't know which way to draw it.
Oh, you drew it like this?
Yeah.
Okay, well, let's play with it here, because that still might be possible, that still might work. Since you did it that way, I'd want to be, but the idea is to go straight up to the x-axis, okay? Not the y-axis, but let's go ahead over
I
here.
didn't know which way to draw it.
So you drew it like this,
Yeah.
and right over here like this. Okay. Let's see what that does. Because this might be a good thing. But your hypotenuse is the same thing, right?
Yes.
So your hypotenuse is equal to square root of 34, that's good. And then this is going to be your angle here. So what is this going to be over here?
3.
So it's 3.
And
And
then
what
it's
side did you
negative.
call that? You call that your adjacent or your opposite?
I put it as my opposite. I don't know.
Okay. Well, the thing
I was
you,
confused with it.
well, what you got to do is, this comes back to our little song here. Our cosine is x and our sine is y. Meaning
Yeah. Okay.
that 3 is going to be your adjacent.
Yeah. I see. Yeah.
Right? And this one here is going to be your opposite, so -5 is your opposite, right?
Yeah.
But then what you're doing here is by drawing it this way, what you're doing, Becky, you're making this your reference angle here, instead of this right here. Now, as it turns out, they are the same angle, right? These are exactly the same because of the transversal of two parallel
Yeah.
lines. But anyway, you have enough to work with, right? So you were able to figure it out from here. Let's go ahead.
It's sine theta equals -5 over square root of 34.
-5
Over square root of 34.
square root of 34,
And
okay?
then no, it's gonna be, I cannot say
Secant
that.
theta,
Square root of 34 over -5.
okay, negative square root of 34 over 5. What I do is I put the negative sign up in the numerator, even like you said, it's in the denominator, I leave it up here in the numerator. Because you can, anyway, go ahead. Cosine is,
Cosine is 3 over square root of 34. And secant theta is square root of 34 over 3.
square root of 34 over 3.
And then tangent theta is -5 over 3.
Tangent theta,
And then cotangent theta is, you want to put -3 over 5 or, just put 3 over -5.
let's see if that's right, because your opposite is your -5, that's right. So sine, and that's sine over cosine, essentially. Yeah, okay. Does that look good? Okay, so she was creative about her reference angle there, but still, did everything come out the way it should? Yeah, it did. Okay. That is some good work. May I erase this now? Okay, I will erase this now. Okay, now this one here, you essentially are being given in 7 through 12, same thing as 1 through, or 3 through 6, but without a picture, right? So I don't know what you did for this. Do you need me to work one of these out, or should I just call on somebody, or what should I do?
You can call someone.
Okay, I'll do that. I like that.
Yeah, I'm just trying to work with it all at once. I already got the first two done.
I'm
When I
really
got to about
going to do
14.
Here we go. Let's see who we have here.
No, 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 oh, come on.
Robert, you were on the today again, so how'd you do this one? How did that happen?
No, no, no.
How it happened? What should I do?
I think I got it.
You got it? Okay.
Here's that. I didn't get it.
That's not what I'm looking for.
Is that what it was? Yes.
I just had to do this being like, look at the paper and yours.
We're in 5.
I got signed.
Okay, yeah, then I got the, okay, now I got it.
Okay, let's go.
Okay, so sine is 4 over 5.
So sine theta is 4/5. Okay.
And then cosine is 3 over 5.
So cosine.
Tangent is 4 over 3.
Okay.
Cosecant, is that what it is?
Cosecant theta, okay, is
Is 5 over 4.
5/4.
And secant, oh, what is that one?
Secant theta is
C theta is 5/10.
5/3. Okay, cotangent theta,
And it's 3/4.
3/4. Did you draw a picture of this?
Yeah, I didn't draw right.
You didn't draw right, so you drew a picture but not right.
Yeah.
Yeah, what I would do for this, and this is just mine. Okay, if I drew 3, 4, I'd go to the right 3, 2, 3, and up 4. So something like this. And here's your reference angle right here.
Yeah.
Drop
my
straight
reference
to it.
angle wrong.
So you have your opposite is equal to 4. Your adjacent is equal to 3. And then you have your 3, 4, 5 right triangle. That's going to be your hypotenuse. And so that's going to be, those are going to be your answers. Okay? That's not too bad, is it? Okay. Thank you, Robert. But could you actually do this without making a drawing of it?
Yeah, you could.
Yeah, you could, because the reason you could is because you know this is your adjacent, right? And you know this is your opposite. So your hypotenuse is going to be this. It's going to be equal to,
5.
oh, my pen is getting a little glitchy. It's going to be equal to opposite squared plus adjacent squared. And so there you have your hypotenuse. So you have adjacent, opposite, and hypotenuse right here. Drawing, you need a drawing for this? I don't see that it's absolutely necessary, right? Okay, let's go on to the number 8. I think number 8 was one of the ones that give Robert credit for that. Let's go do number 8, and I'm going to call on somebody in another half a minute or so. Okay, number 8. Who is this? I'm still a possible candidate for these, but not this one, maybe this one. So she says hypotenuse, my pen is a little glitchy, square root of 52. Okay, because you got like 4 squared plus 6 squared, that's going to be 16, 30, yeah, okay, that looks right. What else?
And then sine is going to be -4 over square root of 52.
Okay,
And then the opposite is going to be square root of 52 over -4. Cosine is going to be -6 over square root of 52. And the opposite of that is going to be square root of 52 over -6.
we'll put negative out here, 6, okay? And then tangent.
And then it's going to be -4 over -6. You make it smaller, and make it -4.
Okay, which equals
That's going to be
3 halves, right? And your cotangent is going to be
-4 over -6.
2/3, okay. And I think some of these other ones can be simplified too, because I think 52, let me see, 52 is going to be 4 times 9, right? What's 52? If you divide, oh, you can't divide by 4.
Would
We're
it
not-
be -4 over -6 on tangent?
Yeah, I flipped those two, for tangent and cotangent, they need to be flipped.
Because -4 is opposite.
No, our cosine is x, adjacent
Yeah,
is
that's
going to be
right.
x.
Those need to be flipped because, opposite over adjacent, cosine is opposite, and then the adjacent is,
No,
no, wait, yeah. I was confused about
our
that.
cosine is x and our sine is y. Our adjacent is x and our opposite is y. Right? So this is right, isn't it? Okay, what was I saying? I was doing this, that's going to be 1, 4, 1, bring down this, 3, 13. So we get 4, so 52, so square root of 52 equals square root of 4 times 13, which equals 2 square root of 13. So what you can do is you can go ahead and make this 2 square root of 13. Like I'm just going to take this case here. So if you have 2 square root of 13, you can write this as -2 square root of 13 over 4, which is going to end up being -2 square root of 13 over 2. So this could be simplified a little bit. Okay, but that's still right. Okay, questions on that? All right. Now we get into Elizabeth's work from yesterday, which is problem 9. And I'm just going to summarize that in a minute. Okay, okay. So just to refresh what Elizabeth we were working with yesterday, is this one here is your adjacent, and this one here is your opposite. And since you have an adjacent of 0, your hypotenuse is going to be 0 squared, square root of 0 squared plus 5 squared is going to be 5. So your sine theta is going to be opposite over hypotenuse, or 1, right? Is that right? And then your cosecant is going to be your reciprocal of this ratio here, which is also 1. Your cosine theta is going to be adjacent over hypotenuse, or 0, and your secant is going to be hypotenuse over adjacent, or undefined. Your tangent is going to be your opposite over adjacent, or undefined, and your cotangent theta is going to be adjacent over opposite, which is 0. So that's a review of what we talked about with Elizabeth yesterday. Is everybody okay with that? Okay, let's go on to number 10. And number 10 is going to be, we don't have very many people left here. It's going to be Elizabeth. Okay, Elizabeth, you get number 10. Okay. All right, Elizabeth.
So the opposite angle is going to be 0, the adjacent is going to be -3, and the hypotenuse is going to be -3.
So that's your adjacent, and this is your opposite. And what is your hypotenuse? Okay, let me show you this. Yeah, this is your opposite. Yeah. Yeah, so that's a good observation. So hypotenuse is actually going to be 3. Okay, go ahead. Then what do we have here?
Your sine from 0 to 30, which is going to equal 0.
Okay.
Your cosine is going to be -3 over 3.
Cosine is -3 over 3.
Is going to be
-1. Okay.
Cosecant is -3 over 0, which is going to be undefined.
Undefined. Okay.
The secant is going to be +3 over -3, which is going to be -1.
Okay.
Your tangent is going to be 0 over -3, which is going to equal 0, and then your cotangent is going to be -3 over 0, which is going to be undefined.
Okay. So that is it, and it's just like this. You got your point -3, or excuse me, it's actually on this side, right? -3, comma 0. So you're talking about this, essentially this angle here. So that'd be your angle right there. Yeah. Okay. Questions on that? So we have Riley and I are left.
What do you have for it?
Okay, this is gonna just, our class. Okay, here we go. This next person is going to be, let's see who it is. Gonna be Riley, okay. Okay, Riley.
So the adjacent is gonna be 5,
Okay, adjacent.
and then the opposite is gonna be -2.
Okay,
So hypotenuse will be negative, or not negative, the square root of 29.
okay.
Your sine of theta is gonna be -2 over square root of 29.
Did you make a drawing of this too?
Yes.
Okay, we'll do that too.
Cosecant of theta is square root of 29 over -2.
Yeah, I'll put the negative up here. Okay, go ahead.
Cosine theta is 5 over square root of 29. Secant theta is square root of 29 over 5.
That's supposed to be square root of 29 right there. That's a 29, trust me. Okay,
Tangent theta is -2 over 5.
-2/5. Okay.
Cotangent theta is 5 over -2.
All right, and then your drawing you had, was it 5? So your drawing was like this, kind of like, oops, I got it wrong.
No, it's,
Like this.
yes.
Okay, good.
Go over 5, down 2, and mark your,
And down 2 like this,
yes.
something like that. Okay, then you had 5, -2. And where did you draw did you draw just straight to the origin like this?
Yes.
And how did you get your reference angle?
Straight up.
Straight up, okay? See, she was right to the reference angle. I want to show you something that's pretty cool is to find out. So this is your reference angle here, right? I want to show you something to find out what that angle is. We're going to find out the value, the measure of that reference angle. And we have -2 over 5. So if we go here, so what we have is, I'm going to change my mode here, degree. We have inverse tangent of -2 over 5, right? And this is going to give us that angle in degrees. That angle is going to be -21.8 degrees. So this reference angle is going to be 21.8 degrees, roughly, right? Okay, let's go on to the last one, and we know who the last one's going to pick. There aren't any others left, right? So, I will tell you, we have 22 comma -22. So it's gonna look like, kind of like Riley's last one, except we're gonna go 22 to the right, down like this, and we're gonna go 22 down. So here we have what it is. This is going to be our reference angle. So we have negative 22. We have 22. In this one, we have square root of 22 times 22. 968.
Square root of 968.
Thank you for helping me out. Square root of 968. And so right here, you're going to have this is your opposite. This is your adjacent. This is your hypotenuse. And you can simplify that square, you can do some simplification too, but just in the interest of time, we're just going to write these out. So sine, so this is going to be unsimplified answers. So your sine is going to be negative 22 over square root of 968. Your cosecant theta is going to be negative square root of 968 over 22. Your cosine is going to be positive. We're going to talk more about that tomorrow. So we have 22 over square root of 968. And our secant theta is going to be square root of 968 over 22. Tangent theta is going to be negative 1. Cotangent theta is going to be reciprocal of negative 1, which is also negative 1. So that's going to be it. And that concludes our work on this today. Yeah, we should do that.